Back for 110. Can you go channel 3, please?
Contact Meeting Center 23.77.
Good afternoon, people. It's 1:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some of you been watching. I talk about for public safety. He's right now in Meade County, Kentucky on his case. And like I said, if you want to know about what's going on in Meade County, Kentucky, to get Chris and Tiffany, go to public safety. Tiffany is from Scott County, Indiana, which is up the road from me. And Meade County had some videos taken down from YouTube. What happened to the First Amendment? It was live video, so how can it be illegal in the freedom of speech category? I don't know. I want to thank quite a few people that have subscribed in the last 24 hours. God bless you.
129 reference a subject who hasn't been heard from for a week.
If you want me to talk about certain subjects, put it in the comments and I'll read it later. I talk about my kitty cats, talk about my medical problems. I talk about Ozempic, what might work for me, might not work for you. You know, I've lost over 60 some odd pounds. It's not quite been a year. I bought some blue jeans back there on the 1st, which is 36 around the waist and 30 in length.
Okay.
So, I want to thank you all from the UK. You know who your subscribers are. And all you that left a comment and has subscribed to my channel, I click on your YouTube name and I subscribe to your YouTube channel because that's what God wants me to do. So, you know, that's a good thing. We help each other out. I wish some VIP out there that'll help me get 1,000 or more subscribers. I got people in mind. I mention them. You all need to watch on today's Wednesday. On Tuesdays and Fridays, the Kern County Crime Watchers. That is part of RD on the Scene. Kern County Crime Watchers, it's either Roger or Aiden, his son-in-law, or his daughter. Sometimes he got this little pet monkey, stuffed monkey. I forget what his name is. Kind of like that pet monkey. That's his co-pilot sometimes. I forget the monkey's name. Roger, Aiden, if you're on there, tell me, I know what I've done wrong. I've done a video, I think it was the 18th of February, I think. There was a car wreck close to my house. And I moved my camera like this, up like this, and all this, because when I got there was no police, fire, EMT there. And the old man that was in the first USB, the van, he got hit in the rear end. Him and his wife was out walking around. Then the police got there a few minutes later, went over to, I guess it was a Kia. They helped her out, and when I saw the juvenile, I kind of moved back towards the old couple. The old man was laying on the ground, and the EMTs was cutting his shirt off. I know what happened. He either had a heart attack or a stroke. People, when you get in a car wreck, or a pickup truck wreck, or SUV, wait till the ambulance people gets out unless it's on fire or smoking. That way they can check you out. It could have probably scared the heck out of them. I say, well, I heard rumors, but I can't back it up. It wasn't in this week's weekly paper from Scott County. It's not on District 45, Indiana State Police page. I heard there was a black tag, which people in California knows what that is. Indiana, it'll be called 10-0. But the young girl, I call it step flight or the air ambulance. She seemed to be hurting a little bit. You know, if you get hit in the chest by the airbag or steering wheel, it might break some ribs. I don't know the outcome of it. But I told people I needed a tripod with a cell phone holder.
Indiana 139.
And I told people the night before that I'd be going to Walmart in Scottsburg about so-and-so time. That person bought me a tripod, and it came with it with a cell phone holder. Now I can do better videos when I'm on an accident of some kind. People gripe, as I've been told, by other YouTubers, make sure you put your description advice, because you don't know what you'll come up to. You know, you could be having your cam working in your vehicle and there's a wreck in front of you. The person will flip in front of you, might come out of the vehicle. Or I pull up on a house fire, a person could come out on fire. That's why I do it, people. It'd be up to you to either do your thing, because I know there's kids under 18 sitting with their parents watching it. Watch your foul language on any YouTube channels. Do not talk bad about other people's YouTube channels. My pet peeve the last couple of videos is women who get abused. And I've told you, there's this lady in Scottsburg. And I don't know what her name is or what she got. And I know the signs, because I can tell you, I'm 70 plus years old. That lady doesn't have any friends, except when she goes out. If you see it, you hear it, report it. You can report it anonymously. You know, if you see it, see it. You can tell. Your ladies can tell. If you live in Scott County, Indiana, which is exit, I think, 29 off of I-65. Could be wrong. But people, check with your neighbors. They might be out. You know, it's getting warm. You know, check on your neighbors. See how they're doing. You know, they might be senior citizens. Check on them. If you got your neighbor's phone number, give them a call. See how they're doing. You know, check on your neighbors. But, lady, it's not your fault. You getting abused by your mate. Report it. No matter how your mate threatened you. You got to have a police report. You all seen cases over the years that women killed their mate, and they charged them with murder because she did not have any evidence of getting abused. She told some people, but no police report. So I would, look out for your neighbors. If you see it, you hear it, report it. It's not your fault. This lady has been threatened if she calls the police. This came straight from her. I know it's hearsay. That he threatened to kill her and the kids. There might be a police report at Scott County Sheriff's Department or Scottsburg Police Department or Austin Police Department. So if you see it, you hear it, report it with a phone call. Because that's what God wants you to do. Ladies, you're not to blame. I don't know none of your ladies out there. But since I'm 70 plus years old, make between $800 to $900 a month, and you gotta fix your budget up. I know there's things that you like to have, but do you really need it? But include everything that you like to have. And if you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, or how you get paid, figure everything in your budget. That's something to think about. You know how much your rent is, or house payment, your car payment, your insurance, your cell phone, your electric bill, water and sewage bill, your groceries, your gasoline to go to work. Figure all that in your budget. And also, if you people didn't know that, they got a gas app. I guess they call it Gas Buddy or something. And all you have to do is put in your zip code where you live, and it'll tell you all the gas stations around where you live. I want all you people complain to your Attorney General in your state. There is a law. You can look it up. They call it price gouging. And when the oil companies raise the price of gas up 30, 40, 50 cents in one day, that is price gouging. And I want to say, God bless you, President Trump. He won 15 states yesterday. Well, Haley, I believe, won one state. She gave up running, but she still talks bad about President Trump. I believe she used to work for President Trump. I forget what office she held. To me, would she make a good vice president? Yes, but talking like she is against President Trump, I don't like. I told you I'm a registered Democrat. May the 7th, I was going to go in there and ask for a Republican ballot. But now I don't have to do that. Because it's only President Trump. I want to see the border secure again. You got all these illegal people coming over to the USA and voting in our elections. That's a no-no in my book. You know, if the Democrats don't do anything, who you think the illegal is going to vote for? The Democrats. Do they have a right to vote in a U.S. election? To me, no. That's your voice, too. What do you think? And I used to work on election day inside the polls. I don't know if I was a judge or the sheriff. I can't remember. And we ate first, then we count the votes. That's the old machines that you have. Unlock the back of it. Go to row 1, you know, A, B, C, row 2, A, you know, and so on. And put them numbers down on paper. But now in Indiana, you know, you black in that box or blue in whatever color ink they have. And you run it through the machine. By closing time, when it's time to do everything, it gives a printout.
I have 2 overdue abandons.
Those states that Trump protests in, he has a legal right to protest it. You know, that's his right. Any candidate in the United States has that right
60.
to have a recount on the votes.
Could you show me en route to a...
You do not leave until all the votes get counted. I don't know if your state got voting machines like Indiana. It prints everything out. You know, so by them leaving after 6 o'clock, you know, by midnight, they didn't do their job. Who's there to protect those ballots from getting robbed or changed? You know, that's my question. Trump did get cheated. I've told you, me and my son went over to Louisville, Kentucky when he was president. He was there at the fairgrounds or whatever they call it. We saw him in person on our cell phones. We was watching the news media. And news people report that he said this and that. In fact, he didn't say no such thing. So, you know, there is fake news out there. At first I didn't believe Trump until that day I was there in person to see it. I wish I thought of you two back there then. You all could have seen it. So that's think of. And as you all know, the Democrats wants to take our guns away. You know, so they won't do that. Who controls California, people? The Democrats does. Back in 23, they made a law that you cannot have a gun out in public anymore. You people can go to your search engine, whatever search engine you use, type in what's the gun rules in California, and it'll bring you up. And say if you leave your house and you got your gun in the trunk, or you go into the gun range, it's in public, no matter if it's in your trunk. Or you own a business, you making a bank run, you got your gun in there with you. That's illegal in California. I'm going to have to look it up where I can do it and talk more about it, about the gun laws in California. I might bring it up and see what it, you know. Okay. Oh. Let's see. I'm going to put my cell phone down while I'm typing. Okay, let me show you. See, that's what I'm looking at right now, so I'm clicking on it.
And copy 5, Indian, got Zebra X-Ray David 664, DXD 664.
I don't know, man, it's all kinds of stuff on here.
The son had not heard from him either, so I'm assuming the caller has the son's information, but I did not. We can see if the next train get it.
Hey, you're okay. I've got that caller here. Can you check and see if U of L possibly has this guy?
Spell his last name.
Yes, let's try this and see what happens.
Dispatch 3923, everything April.
No, that's not gonna work.
Good.
4300-007667. 4300-007667.
Christian Jones, driver 0.6. Mileage 129.84.
Class 61 is a 54-year-old zero that's still on the parking lot. She does have a abrasion to her hand. She's no longer on the ground. Her bus may be checked out.
32.52.
Man, people, you click on this. Let's see, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Silver 4548, that vehicle's going. Showing 10-24
4548.
Lincoln, Ida, Nora, David, Edward, Mary, Adam, Nora. I do not have
People,
a date of birth.
you know, it's stupid.
He's saying the alleged son she talked to. She looked up a name in white pages and assumed that it was his son, but we don't know that for sure because she wasn't able to get in contact with him.
73330.
Thank you, Hawk.
You know, they're asking, you know, this and that.
You can show me 1023 and take from that address, one cat shelter.
You know, chat with California lawyers. Man, I tried, people. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at.
Dispatch, what kind of car was it again?
Silver Chevy Cobalt.
Oh.
Dispatch 1610.
You can close cab 6417 by option.
My alarm going off, so I ain't going to.
On thing.
61.
Dispatch 11041028.
Good.
Covered bridge 108 Charles King Young. Repeating 108 Charles King Young.
280. a 2007 Chevy Cobalt, silver in color, to Elena Parker, Austin, expires 2025 at tonight.
Would you attach her also?
Click.
Union officer respond 3275 East US Highway 50, reference phantom vehicle. 14 is going to be right past TSC Body Shop. Red Cadillac with TSC plate. She also interferes the driveway at the end of the drive.
Clear. I'll be around. 1415. I'm right here. 36. I'll be out with it.
Perfect time.
Tennessee plate. I'm not sure if it's a specialty plate or not. It's Adam Paul 1231. Expired in 23.
Look at this. Age. Oh, there are age restrictions for gun sales. Generally, it is illegal to sell, loan, or transfer a firearm to a person under 21. Okay, people. If you're in the armed forces, Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, would it be illegal for them to have a gun if they, maybe an MP? You know, like I say, I'm not a lawyer, but
Nicole at the car shop was who called. She said they were wanting it removed.
Clear. I guess if they're wanting it removed, you can contact the aides if that's what they're wanting. I'm assuming that individual, the registered owner, is not instantly.
you know, firearm safety certificate. Anybody who buys a pistol with a CCW, they should go through this training. You know, that way you know how to load your weapon, how to clean it, how to hit a target behind a beam or behind an automobile or vehicle. You know, that should be required in all 50 states.
This is the last four of the VIN 7033. There's no note. It's got a flat rear driver's side tire.
Clear, I'm making contact with Dave.
704 still the same. Okay, clear.
Rosestown units, city units respond 209 South Water Street, apartment 102, caller advised she's having issues with her memory.
Just the 406, 406, 7123,
See, I heard this is part of it.
Clear.
740 at 330, Lake Town.
740.
And 68, your officer.
3660. 1023.
Certified.
4554.
California gun laws of 2042, the top 12 answer questions.
4530.
Central, 3941. I'll be taking one mail from the courthouse to District 39, starting mileage 172650.
You see here, is it illegal to carry a gun in California? Furthermore, California gun laws make it a crime to carry, conceal a weapon. The crime, however, will not get changed if you have a lawful CCW permit. You know, some of this don't make sense, but I'm trying. Like I say, that law came into effect January the 1st, so I can't find it. But I know it was passed in 2023, I believe, somewhere in that time frame. You people of California. But Indiana, if you're a convicted felon, you look it up. You can't have a gun, you can't carry one. You're not permitted under the law. But you look it up, you can have a black powder gun. You know, you can do that, but I don't know what the federal laws say to it. So, you know, that's something to think about, people. So, you know, if you live in California, if you find it, leave that law in the comments. And that way I can look it up and share it. But the U.S. Supreme Court years ago, I said maybe 10 years, give or take a little, either up or down. You cannot make a law for half the people and not the other people. Okay, so if that's true, in California, you can't have a gun anymore in the state of California. They omitted your police officer, your security guards, your bank transport people. They can carry it. If you get arrested, maybe the ACLU can help you out. Because that law, in my book, is unconstitutional. So hit the subscribe bell and hit it again. You get all comments. Hit the thumbs up. I want to thank you all. It's in the background. So, temperature outside is probably 58 degrees. To me, it's still a little cold.
Hold on, 8929-284812, repeating 8929-284812.
So, it's 57 degrees, humidity 83% here in Clark County, Indiana. So,
4519.
well, Megan Fox is on. Let's see, let me go.
1435.
Consideration, and at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 21 seconds, the respondent stated no objection to the language you proposed. At 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 0 seconds, respondent's counsel
0 seconds.
0 seconds. Who says that?
Somebody who's just he's an ass.
The court stated
This is in Levy County, Florida. This is a stupid judge. Craig Thomas.
Again, no objection,
No.
no question.
It doesn't matter if there was an objection or not, if it's unconstitutional.
Acceptance.
Facts.
And then on top of that, because it was the court's obligation, and I prefaced it with Mr. Hales, I'm not suggesting you're going to violate the terms of this, but you're entitled to know, and here
Wait a
I am
minute.
telling you,
Hold on.
violation could result in prosecution, could result
Hold on. Is he suggesting that there's no problem with violating Jeremy's constitutional rights because his attorney didn't object?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
that's why he's going back now, because he was
Hell
okay
no.
with it until that Budlove decision came out, and now he has to change it. Well, they didn't object. Well, I mean,
Well,
doesn't mean that it's not violating his constitutional rights.
and anyway, his attorney barely objects to anything. He doesn't object to anything because he acts like he is scared of this judge or something. I don't know, but he does not object where he should.
They need to be careful with their table talk at their table, because when you're listening to them talk about the protective order and the distance, you can hear Shockett and Jeremy talking about the distance. Like there's something about 534 feet. So if it's outside, their driveways are far enough apart and not. And so he didn't hammer down on, hers. She only has a.
People, I don't understand this stupid judge. That judge violated over 5 Constitution things. So, he's getting screwed. Tonight, what the hell is going to come out with the video? I think it's 5 o'clock. Where he, I guess, was threatened or somebody. He got called to the sheriff's department. You can get a drug addict to kill somebody for $5 or $10 or a bag of dope, something like that. But all the prosecutor of Levy County, the sheriff's department, have to enforce his permanent injunction against Lynette and John Crook. But no, they won't do it. First, the Attorney General of Florida said no. Then, I guess after all you people complained to him and all that, federal law states, and you heard it on DUI guy and the Constitution lawyer. You heard all of it, even on the Megan Fox Ryder videos that they have to by law, but they're not doing it. You know, as Jeremy tell you, don't contact any of the people that he talks about. And who I talk about, you know, liar Preston. You know, she's a liar. If you watched the video yesterday on what the hell, he got records on sealed. And it states right in those records that liar Preston wasn't afraid of him. But she told in court she was afraid of him. That shows she's a liar, and the judge sealed that because he did not want your people to know that she's a liar. Well, it shows right there that she's a liar. Why did the judge cover that up? You know, let's get back to more of Megan.
Yeah, I remember he offered
or whatever. He's like, oh my God.
For $500,000, he said he would come in and do it. He could though. He could come in and burn this shit down. He needs an attorney who will come in from outside. And it's not there. I'm not blaming Randy Shockett. I'm not blaming Doreen. I think they're both good attorneys. They certainly write good motions. But I think that they need somebody outside of the circuit who doesn't practice here, because the backlash must be a problem. That's how it feels.
Because I'm sure they practice in front of those judges all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Hey guys, get that GoFundMe going, because maybe we can get Larry Foreman to fly in.
Yeah.
Larry will do it.
Larry's he seems a little frustrated with the situation. He seems hot.
I would love, oh my God, wouldn't you love to see Larry Foreman in front of this judge?
That would be great.
Oh, he would,
He'll get thrown in jail.
Oh, he would love that. Bring it. God, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
More money off of that than you can imagine.
He would make so much money off of that, guys.
We would too.
We would too. Get to the GoFundMe and start sending some money, because if he can hire Larry to come in and carpet bag in there and give this judge what it's like to face a fiery lawyer who doesn't give a shit what happens after that. Hire Larry. I know he isn't. No, he's not licensed there, but he can. There's like reciprocation.
He can Pro Hog BJ in there for that matter only, and get it.
Yep, he can Pro Hog BJ.
As long as like Shockett sponsor, as long as a licensed Florida attorney sponsors him.
Right.
For that, so Shockett could say, "Yeah, I'm going to bring him in as co-counsel."
That's right. See, Johnny Depp's lawyers were from California, but they went to court in Virginia now, didn't they?
And they had they had to have a local Virginia attorney sponsor them for that. Even if they didn't do anything.
But you can do that from state to state, right? It's pretty much all states, right?
Yeah. You can do that. I could do that for another state. I wouldn't, but I don't have time to do that. But you can do that. I mean, you can do that in any state. You can do that in federal courts as well. But yes, it happens all the time in state court.
Yeah, that's what should happen here. He needs somebody to come on in from someplace else and just bring the fire down in this courtroom.
All he just said he needs to wear a big ass buckle.
Oh my God!
Spurs on his boots.
Yeah, buckle up, Judge.
And then we walk away.
Oh, that's funny.
And so to the extent, and I want to hear from you, counsel, to the extent that you feel that this opinion should change or modify, it's a request to modify the language, to the extent that you feel this opinion should modify what the court's belief on 12.6 was already the intent, maybe I didn't carry it through, that may be your objection or your argument, to narrowly tailor it by not directing Mr. Hales to take down anything prior to that date, but to prospectively follow the language in the addendum. And so what is it about that language that you think, in light of Bud Love, is not narrowly tailored? And again,
I chuckle every time I hear that name.
what Bud Love does is reverse
Bud Love.
Second DC upholds
12 years old.
for protection against stalking. It upholds the findings, but it reverses on the language of the injunctive relief being too broad.
Right.
It doesn't tell the court. It says what's too broad, but it doesn't say what.
See, I pushed the button that time and it didn't mute. I apologize.
It's giving the trial court the obligation to invest the judicial labor to narrowly tailor it.
Well, Your Honor, on page 7, I think it does. At the bottom, injunctions which, quote, prevent communications to, unquote, an individual can be permissible under the First Amendment. Communication to her, but this is social media. No one's she has to watch the video. She has to subscribe to his YouTube account to watch it.
Yeah, but hang on. Read
Okay,
the
then it says,
She doesn't have to subscribe to it, but she has to access it.
Subscribe to
It
watch
cites
his
to the
videos.
David decision, which the second DCA says we're in conflict with,
Look
and
at
we want
his
it
bald
certified to
headed
the
head.
Supremes.
Boy.
but Judge, there's no first DCA opinion in conflict here, so therefore this is effective. This language, I'm saying this is a clarification. This is an important opinion. I can go back and read the briefs. I'm sure there was arguments on both sides saying that injunction in this case, the Bud Love case, which really matches yours, was constitutional and consistent with the statute. I'm sure there's arguments on both sides, Judge. Until we had this clarification, that's what appellate opinions do, Your Honor.
So give me a second. So again, the court's oral pronouncement on 12-6, which was reduced to writing, which was not objected to, is there not a distinction that there's waiver?
Oh, I don't think any litigants or even trial courts can waive the Constitution of the United States. The David opinion, Judge, was when the
Nice.
that was under the
Well
old
put.
cyberstalking
They
statute.
can-
People go to What the Hells and look at his video of each session they, he didn't get to speak. And when you sign papers, it has to be done in front of a notary public person. Date, time, the notary's ID, number, this and that. Can you say, I live in Indiana. Can I send it to California? I would say no. How do you know if you're in California that person signed it? You have to go, say, to California or Florida or Ohio, like What the Hells had to go to Ohio and sign it in person. That way they know he signed it. And that judge chewed him out for it. Liar Preston said, oh, my mom is dead. Then she comes back later and says, oh, she's not dead. Then she's in a nursing home, had to put a trach in. They have to be done in the hospital. You cannot do it if you're in a nursing home. Liar Preston got over 40 different names she uses. How can you do that, people? 40 different aliases. You saw on Megan Fox show, that the Fish and Wildlife people was there and they videotape it. They're in danger. Can't the federal government take her 501c3? I think it is. I'm not sure. Can they take it away? I say yes. She's a con artist. Remember, do not contact her or John Crook or anybody who I mentioned, because Jeremy, what the hell, Jeremy can get arrested by this crooked judge. So, let's get back to it.
I want to hear that again.
Mention her name. That's what you can't mention her name, show her image. You can't do anything. That's overbroad. That's not narrowly tailored. That's what it says. You can certainly, the other language, fighting words, incitement, these words, these are unprotected. And so, and also any kind of communication to her. Is everything else in there is standard. This new area of gagging someone, basically saying, if you go on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whatever they got out there, and say her name, Pandora's box.
Yeah, the statute itself is unconstitutional. But
yes, thank you. But wait, who's going over that? Isn't somebody going over? Was it you that was going to go over the?
I went over the Strober v. Harris case that Judge cited to so many times in the first few hearings.
Yeah,
but I haven't gone through the Bud Love one yet.
Oh well, I want to go through that actually. I'm going to read that. I read it I read it when I saw it referenced, and oh my God. It's a great decision as far as overturning all this bullshit, but I haven't read the entire thing in very detailed. But dang,
yeah,
this is exactly correct. And I feel like the only thing he's missing here is after telling him that it's a violation of the Constitution of the United States that
you will pay for what you've done. And I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon you.
That's the only thing it's missing.
I love it.
That's the only thing that little speech there was missing. Randy, I recommend putting that in the next time after you tell him you violated the Constitution, and I pray that God send angels to visit vengeance upon me.
I gotta go. I just got back to the office after driving for 7 hours today.
Oh my gosh!
I gotta go in and do a little bit of work before I head home early. So,
all right. Well, you tell everybody what's your next stream? What are you doing?
Tonight, I'm going to read the new federal petition.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jeremy. I have a copy of it. I'm going to read through it tonight on stream. And then whatever time we have for stuff after, maybe a short stream tonight too, just because I need sleep. But I do want to read through it. I don't have any of the other hearings. You have the uncensored hearings, so those are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to read through that tonight.
What did I send you? I'll send you this one too.
You sent me the first hearing, I think, uncut.
Okay, I'll send you the second one and this one too.
I went through the second one based off of their channel. I'd used those videos. We've done the first two hearings.
All right. Well, I'll send you this one then.
Okay, cool.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. You guys got me over 5,000 subs. That was like, that was awesome.
Go subscribe to MG Law. I dropped Valhalla's chat or his link in there as well. Subscribe to both of these dudes. They're good dudes.
Yeah, it's because you got me on. You recommended me for this last week, and it's been a crazy ride. So I have you to thank for it. So
great.
So people go to MG Law. He's a lawyer. I forget what state he's in. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. And subscribe to Megan Fox Ryder's channel. Subscribe to their channel. So
20 things all over the ground. We've got
this is perfect.
The barn, little poop in the barn because there's always poop.
Right? There's animals wandering around.
There's the garden hose.
What is that?
The garden hose to fill up turtle tanks because we need that.
But wait, do they have hose? They have water? What do they have? Like a rain barrel hooked up to the hose?
I think it's running to the Hales property across the street. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
And then we've got one single bed in the very top because, why not?
Why not? This is awesome. Look at this, how it opens up and everything and how it has no walls. It looks exactly right.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. You are very talented at this. Oh, do you...
They're making Legos out of Liar Preston's property. And Megan, if you look, is making the courtroom.
Is shaping up. We have random junk in the front. We have sharp, pointy things coming out of one side. There's random tools with an axe attached. This is like a gauntlet for the toddler to get through. So there's like an axe you have to avoid. There's broken glass on the ground. A random chicken egg that a chicken just dropped. There's pointy shards of like shrapnel here. This is like some kind of random like windmill or fan or something that's broken. It doesn't work. It's just a pole that could fall over at any moment.
It's going to work next year.
The fish just fell onto the floor. Hold on, wait. I got to get the fish. It fell. So we have a garbage can with that we can burn the garbage, and while we burn the garbage, we can cook on it. So there's this frying pan there, and then we have tarps that are sort of covering the composting toilet, which is the blue bucket, which you can see in the, can you see the blue bucket? Yeah, there's the blue bucket. And then we're gonna at some point we'll get like some sort of cover going over this way, and then probably some more tarp. So we're working on it.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. I like the gauntlet.
My question to your people, she adopted that 4-year-old girl. Is it legal? Did the father of the child sign it? Did the mother, that's questions to ask. Why did she leave? She stopped, what the hell's to Florida, bought the property across from him, tried to get money off of him, this is what the hell's videos. Is that adoption legal? Probably not. I know in Indiana, the mother and father has to sign off on it. Did the father of that child sign off on it? Probably not for when I've been here. I know it's hearsay. So that's the questions to ask. Why didn't the CPS, whatever it's called in Florida, really do a background check on Liar Preston? I don't understand that. You go through a background check. Maybe they didn't do a full background check on her, because she has some things in the court files that disqualify her from adopting a child. Same thing with John Crook, which that was a nickname they gave him, because he is a crook. And since she got 7,000 donations from somebody from YouTube, if you on disability or food stamps, you have to report any income. I don't think she reported it. Ain't that fraud people, Liar Preston in Otters Creek, Florida? I say yes. Because Indiana, you have to report any extra income. Once I come a full-time YouTuber, I have to report that as income. Even through my home, the government agency that has my house, I have to report that because it's income. Why haven't the Florida Food Stamp Office asked for proof? She got $7,000. That's income, people, to pay for that lawyer.
They had to have been wrong about that. How can talking about someone online be considered stalking if you're talking about them, not talking to them? How can that be considered stalking? We're going to have to read this decision because it sounds insane to me.
Everything about this case is insane.
I found poop. Oh my God,
Nice.
I found poop. The poop is going on in the shit shack. Should it go on the bucket?
No, it's not going to be on the bucket. It's going to be.
You know what? They just didn't make it to the shit shack,
Well,
so
the
we'll
census
be like
says
over
I'm
here.
at
We'll put it in the gauntlet
53,
section.
but I know it's wrong.
The toddler gauntlet. We have the toddler gauntlet
I
there.
don't know why
There
that
we
wrong
go.
keeps
Lynette
going
School of
on.
Parenting.
Yes.
Toddler Gauntlet.
The toddler gauntlet. Shit, what did I just... Well, that fish just doesn't want to stay in the pan. It just keeps jumping out. It's just a whole problem. All right, here we go.
The basis of this petitioner's complaint is that the postings themselves, so those were postings about a court case. Bud Love is postings about a court case that led to be considered stalking.
Postings about a court
About
case?
the postings themselves.
How is that stalking? Posting public information is
About a
considered
court
stalking?
case? All right, if that's we're all in trouble then. We're all in trouble because so are you telling me that my livelihood? I report on court cases for a living. That's what I do. I'm a court reporter. Are you telling me that I can be hauled into court for stalking because I'm analyzing a public court case? Are you kidding? All right, apparently Bud Love is a case we really need to find out about because this sounds horrific.
I'm excited to learn. But apparently in Levy County, Florida, that would put you in a legal predicament, apparently.
Wow, I'm shocked by this.
Being a large part of inciting and fomenting others to act, and that's the pertaining to.
Let me just say, I have never incited anyone to do any.
You know, that's stupid, people. It's public record. Open records law. So how are you breaking the law? That is stupid. You know, I'm glad I'm not living down there in Florida. They got stupid laws, especially in Levy County, Florida. They must be all crooked judges. They all stick together. But I believe on What the Hells, he filed a federal lawsuit against Liar Preston and John Crook. And tonight on What the Hells, I guess it's maybe 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you subscribe to his channel, you get notification when he does that. And he's going to talk about either Jeremy or someone, a contract killer was out there. Maybe the judge put it out. I don't know. Maybe Liar Preston did. Or, you know, you got a bunch of dope addicts for a certain amount of drugs. You can get that done. Let's go back to Megan Fox.
And say, oh, well, you know, it's okay. That's the entire purpose that man's there, is to preserve everybody's rights.
Mostly causing, it's not limited to, but it's mostly causing other people to act upon of persistently, consistently following, videotaping, writing about, which included
Writing about?
construed as possible.
Okay, videotaping is one thing. Like, don't videotape her. Like, don't go do that. Don't contact her. Don't email her. Don't contact her at all. Don't contact any of these people. The only people that should be contacted are, like, I don't know, legislators, possibly the Judicial Commission. Like, those people are supposed to take complaints. But don't go, but to write about her? Now he wants to put journalists out of business? She has become a news story, whether she likes it or not, and whether this judge likes it or not. Ask MAGA Granny how she feels about being written about. Ask that woman that the mainstream press doxed on live television who shared a Russian meme during the 2020 election on Facebook. Ask her if she could go sue the media for cyber stalking. Ask the kid who CNN doxed for posting a WWE meme with Donald Trump's face on it. Ask him about cyber stalking. They have no recourse against CNN. This is garbage. This is all garbage. If you think you've been defamed, your only option is a defamation lawsuit. A judge cannot step in and say, you must stop saying all those bad things, because the judge can't make the determination if it's defamatory or not. The judge is not there to make that determination in this kind of case. You would have to go to a judge in a defamation civil case for that. This is the improper venue for all of this shit that he's trying to do. Improper venue.
I agree with her 100%.
He's an absolute disgrace. He is a hack. He is there to just look at the order and say, does it have merit? Is there evidence or not? And say yes or no. He is not here to determine what your constitutional rights are. He is not a Supreme Court justice. He is not even a real judge. He's not even a criminal judge. This guy is a fake fucking judge. He's a kangaroo judge in a family court that uses hearsay as evidence. If you think that's a real judge, I have no...
Your description is advised, people. You know, there's a few bad words that some people might not like, so your description is advised.
Restrictions. Obviously, this is the appropriate format, time, and place, and I will hear none to the other. It's ridiculous.
Family court judges, to quote Judge Judy, family court judges are morons and political hacks. Take it up with Judge Judy if you don't like it, Judge Grudge. But that's what you are at this point, and you have no business at all determining what my speech can be. You are so far beneath where you need to be the person deciding that. Like, it's not even funny. You don't matter, Judge DeThomasis. You are literally there to ruin people's lives in custody disputes. That's your job, to ruin people's lives and rip children away from their one parent or the other, because for some reason, we've given you that authority to do that. So why don't you go do that and figure out what is the deal with the custody of Lynette's kid? Because that would be your purview. You know what your purview would be? You know where your wheelhouse might be? Why don't you determine whether or not that adoption was actually legal and whether that woman has a right to that child? Because this is family court, right? It's not the Supreme Court. It's not the Supreme Court, Judge. You're not a Supreme Court justice. You're literally overstepping your bounds. You are overstepping so far.
I agree
that
with
you're going to fall into eternal purgatory soon,
100%.
or perhaps maybe the tanning salon that's attached to the courthouse, my courthouse over here. Oh Jesus! I can't take this guy. I cannot take him.
He's a trip. He's an absolute trip.
Violence, financial.
When I saw it referenced, and oh my God, it's a great decision. Family court judges.
That was being published was the basis of the injunctive relief.
Well, it shouldn't have been, because the nature of the communication wasn't your job. Again, those things are only illegal if they are untrue.
Truth is an absolute defense to defamation.
And he has not heard one bit of evidence to prove to him whether those statements that were made by Jeremy Hale were true or false. Now, one of the things he just brought up is that Jeremy allegedly called her a child abuser. We have all seen evidence that there could be child abuse going on in this situation. So if his opinion is that she's a child abuser, There's a whole lot of evidence that says he might be right. And if he is not intentionally being malicious, that's also not defamation. So let's say he's wrong. Let's say she's not a child abuser and he thinks she is and said that he thinks that she is. Defamation is, you also have to prove malicious intent. And I don't think he has malicious intent about that at all. I think he has a real concern about this kid. I have a real concern about this kid. I have a real concern.
You also have to prove damages, which I can't think of a single thing that this lady's getting damaged.
People are talking about her, Valhalla.
That's not a damage. That's not damage.
But that's what the judge is saying. The judge here is saying that just by talking about her, she is being damaged. Well, but is she causing the damage herself? Is she causing the people to talk about her is the question. Yes. This is like Laura Owens trying to say that she has a right to privacy after she went to the press and put herself out there in all of her shit and her fake pregnancies and stuff. And now she wants everyone to shut up because it's damaging to her. No, your own actions have damaged you, not the press.
Her own child, stepchild, foster child, whatever the YouTube girl is. She herself has validated abuse claims. So right. I don't understand how this could possibly be a defamation case. It doesn't make any sense.
She has not only just said it on YouTube, there are documents that back that up. There is court documents from her child psychologist or psychiatrist, I don't remember which one, who had direct contact with Lynette and this child, said there was extreme abuse and that she should be removed. So, and I have those documents, they're in my possession. I may read them on a stream one day, but we'll have to redact a lot of information off of it. But that's, it's in court. It's in black and white. So if you read this document and you see this psychiatrist, this professional the court hired to determine whether or not Lynette was abusing someone, and then they find that she did, and you say she's a child abuser, that's what the record says. So Jeremy's not the only one saying this.
No, not even close. MG corrected me. He says, if the judge were to find defamation per se, then damages may not need to be proven, but there's enough evidence there to dispel that kind of claim. So thank you for that, MG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The judge is just taking it on her word that all of these things he said were untrue. And he has not asked, what is your evidence for saying these things? And he shouldn't anyway, because this is not a defamation case. And that is not the issue in this court. The issue is Jeremy cyberstalking her? Saying things about someone online is not cyberstalking. You would have to be saying them to them directly through their email or other communication towards that person.
Not that it's that the postings grew out of another piece of
litigation. Be back in just a couple minutes.
What we don't know is what's the trial court going to do when Bud Love et al. Gets sent back to the trial court. And so, in that context, I'm asking you, and the second part of it, or 1A of my question, what are you suggesting would be given that my intent was to narrowly tailor. My intent was to not infringe on constitutional rights. I did that in the previous temporary injunction. I did that, in my opinion, in the addendum that was not objected to.
Wrong.
And so to the extent that this opinion may change your client's view and your view about this, I'm asking what would be. You're telling me the whole thing is overly broad?
No,
correct.
It's just he should be allowed to post. He should be allowed to.
The injunction is going to tell him what he can't do.
I understand.
I'm not going to tell him what he can do. That's for you, as his lawyer, to advise him that based on the court's ruling, you can still do this, but the court's ruling says you cannot do that. If I'm going to enjoin, which I have, the court's order is going to read what he can't do. And so right now it reads, based on the totality of the circumstances presented to this court in prior pleadings and in the form of evidence presented to this court on 11/29, and based on the extension of the injunctive relief, etc. So it goes on. It is therefore ordered and judged that in addition to the conditions and restrictions previously imposed which is the standard. So that first paragraph really doesn't do anything to enjoin. It just simply says why we're doing this, why the court's doing it. And so it's the second paragraph. The respondent and or anyone under his control employed by him or in any way under his direction, including but not limited to any and all administrators of any form of social media.
Yeah, administrators.
Responsibility to assure that he does not publish in any form whatsoever.
Well, how can other people be responsible that he does not publish anything that you, this stupid judge, wants him to not publish? Other people, you're putting other people in other states. You think you have jurisdiction over his moderators in his chat to make sure that they don't allow him to post anything about her? What kind of absolute garbage is this? Is so insane. He has got to know how insane he is. United States, allegedly, and earned a law degree. Whoever gave him that law degree should take it back immediately. I think it was the University of Florida, and I think that they should get it. I think that's where it said he was affiliated, and I think they should go and get it back, like as soon as humanly possible. Because what the hell, man? You think you can hold other people in other states that you don't even have jurisdiction over responsible for his speech? Wow.
Utilizing any media platform or conduit of information of the name, image, and or likeness, and or any information, data, photography, videos related to and or pertaining.
The name, image, and or likeness. So you can't go into AI chat and into AI images and put up a likeness of her. It's not even her. Can I draw her, Judge? Am I allowed to draw? Can I make her a Lego figure out of her? Can I put her, because that's a likeness. Can I make a pencil stick drawing and say it's Lynette Preston? No, he doesn't want us to do that. We're not allowed to make any likenesses or show her picture. She literally puts her picture up all over social media. She has these videos. She has videos. Like, I just got one in my inbox today. A video of her saying that John, what's his name, John Cook? She's saying that he's abusive to her. If I play that, is this judge going to try and send the New York sheriff to my house? Because it's her? It's a video she posted in social media? It's unbelievable.
To the petitioner and or her minor child. So it's that paragraph, if you're suggesting.
Well, he needs to go after Fish and Wildlife then, because they posted a video of her and her minor child. Better go after Fish and Wildlife in Florida, sir. They violated your order.
Is overbroad what would be narrowly tailored.
I'll tell you what would be narrowly tailored. Here's what's narrowly tailored. There's no protective order because there's no evidence here that she needs one. What you are complaining about is called free speech. If you think that speech is defamatory, you need to hire yourself a lawyer, ma'am, and go take him to civil court and file for defamation. Period. The end. Court's adjourned. Dismissed.
Okay, thanks, Judge. At page 9 of the opinion, it's right there. We can substitute Budlow for the word Hales. But at the bottom, in this case, the injunctions granted against Budlow Hales do not merely prohibit Budlow Hales from having any contact with the petitioner, sending communications to the petitioner, or causing others to send communications to the petitioner or inflict some manner of harm against the petitioner. Those are fine. In addition to preventing any contact with or communications to the petitioner, the trial court ordered that Budlow Hales cease communicating publicly about the petitioner, ordering that he refrain from, quote, posting online anything related to her case.
Anything related to her case.
But that involves the individuals, Judge. That's what they were doing. It's not just the case. The individuals, in fact, if you keep reading the order.
Well, the word anything, I guess, anything related to the case.
In other words, the injunctions, they said it. In other words, the injunctions, page 9 to 10, in other words, the injunctions prevent Budlow Hales from engaging in public speech about a court proceeding and the individuals involved. This
and that was wrong.
Prior restraint on speech is not tailored at all, much less narrowly tailored.
There you go.
Prospective prescriptions on Budlow
Hales
social media communications are, for example, not confined to constitutionally unprotected speech, such as fighting words, quote, those personally abusive.
See, that would have been narrowly tailored to say, in that case, to say you're not allowed to post illegal speech about this person. So you're not allowed to incite anyone to violence. You're not allowed to use fighting words, while this matter is in court or whatever. But I still think it's kind of baloney. I mean, unless it's actual threats, like you can't post threats. That sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. That would be the narrowly tailored. You cannot say you are no longer allowed to speak about this person ever again. That's ridiculous. Or show her image or her likeness. No.
Epithets, which, when addressed to the ordinary citizen, are, as a matter of common knowledge, inherently likely to provoke violent reaction. True threats, those statements the speaker means to communicate a serious expression of intent to commit an act of unlawful violence. And those are alleged, Judge, I follow you, to a particular individual or group of individuals. Or incitement communications, all these things. To the extent the injunctions broadly prohibit him from merely making public statements about the petitioner or her case, the injunctions are overbroad and impermissibly cite. So I would just say we could just mirror this and join from constitutionally protected speech.
She's more protected than Muhammad.
Would be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm reading.
Yeah, you can't. This is hilarious. This is Sharia law. You're not allowed to draw her. You can't even draw her.
Right.
You're not even allowed to draw. Great observation, Valhalla. It's Sharia. Don't even think about drawing her.
Don't draw her. Don't say her name out loud. We can't post images. Nothing.
No images. It is like, the immaculate, Mary. You just know you can't do anything to this woman. This woman is off limits completely. Like, she's the mother of Christ.
Well, and even worse, she's off limits to us. And Jeremy may have to pay the legal repercussions for us talking about her, which is
it's insane.
It's absolutely asinine.
You know what else she is actually I think she is a public person. She ran for office. She put her story in the newspaper. She put her turtle rescue in the newspaper. She put her adoption story in the newspaper. She is a public person. So she is there's a higher standard too for defamation when you're talking about a public individual. She's I guess what you would call what is it? It's not
public
partial.
Figure.
But not it's like there's another term. She's not a public figure like a president or something. She's a limited purpose public figure.
There you go.
That's what it is. Limited purpose public figure. She does not have the right to this privacy she thinks she has a right to.
No.
You don't get to go to the media and put your name and picture and your turtle business in the media and then claim no one can talk about you and then go get orders from judges who don't understand things and who think that they're being really, cutting edge by limiting the entire world's free speech through this stupid protective order case in family court. You can't do that. This is all awful.
Remember, people, she's a proven pole dancer, stripper. Maybe the judge slept with her. I don't know. That's my right as person. First Amendment rights. So, make sure you watch Megan Fox Rider. And click on her notification bell, and click on it again. That way you get all notifications. And watch the Hells tonight, I think at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch his channel and subscribe. And you find out what this case is all about, people.
What'd you do?
Portillo's.
Oh, let me see.
Portillo's beef and sausage combo. It's the last of it.
How do you, did you order that online?
No, Mrs. Valhalla went back up north last weekend to visit family, so she brought me home 2 sandwiches.
Oh, man.
That's how I know she loves me.
I think I have some in the freezer.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, man. It is so good. I love Portillo's.
Related to and or pertaining to the petitioner and or the minor child.
Mm-hmm. We needed that.
So, one way to remedy that, if you're suggesting, not necessarily agreeing or disagreeing, would be and or pertaining to her minor child, which is also named in the injunctive relief here being sought.
Yep.
That it could go further to say pertaining and or pertaining to the petitioner and or her minor child, that may be construed as fighting words, personally abusive epithets, which when addressed by the ordinary citizen are as a matter of common knowledge inherently likely to provoke violent reaction, and or truth threats, as are those statements where the speaker means to communicate, etc. And that paragraph out of Budnov could define, I can tell you this, your client is still at risk because that whatever future behavior he engages in or language he behaves in accordance with would then need to be construed as, does it meet that constitutional definition or not?
Yeah, true threats, you moron.
What you're saying is, I guess I'm hearing what you say, is that the language is currently in the addendum could remain so long as we add, because right now it is a broad, you can't do anything, info, data, photography, videos related or pertaining to the petitioner and or her minor child. And I'm suggesting that if we add, that may be construed as fighting words, which are those personally abusive, etc., etc.
Constitutionally unprotected.
Right. Yeah, constitutionally unprotected speak. And that's a very narrow definition.
As constitutionally unprotected speech, such as.
And you can cite, I don't think you're wrong with the order citing Budlove, but.
Well,
yeah.
I could, and I would, because I think I'm required to, because that is the status of the law, despite. And I keep going back to the concurring
This
opinion, but
judge
I understand
is
2
a
versus
joke.
1.
He should be removed from the bench.
That, as pointed out by the concurring opinion, I would say.
What? He is not even a real judge. He's not even a criminal judge.
Her minor child, which is also named in the injunctive relief here being sought.
Yep.
That it could go further to say pertaining and or pertaining to the petitioner and or her minor child, that may be construed as fighting words, personally abusive epithets, which when addressed by the ordinary citizen are as a matter of common knowledge inherently likely to provoke violent reaction, and or truth threats, as are those statements where the speaker means to communicate, etc. And that paragraph out of Budnov could define, I can tell you this, your client is still at risk because that whatever future behavior he engages in or language he behaves in accordance with would then need to be construed as, does it meet that constitutional definition or not?
Yeah, true threats, you moron.
What you're saying is, I guess I'm hearing what you say, is that the language is currently in the addendum could remain so long as we add. Now it is a broad.
You know, it sounds like that lawyer ain't that good for Jeremy. Maybe the DUI guy needs to go down there and take on this case. Because that judge a a-hole. The only way he got to be a judge, the governor of Florida appointed him. And I like to see what his students think of him. They probably not knowing him. So,
Nothing wrong with the order citing Budlove. But
I would move him from the bench. Let him go back being my lawyer. You know, how many other cases he screwed up like this, you know, of other people's cases. They need to look into this judge. But like they say, it's a good old boys club. They not, them other judges ain't gonna do anything against him. That's how come Jeremy needs change of venue.
I screwed up. That's what he should say.
so he would never say such a thing.
He did screw up. I agree with her.
However, I disagree with the majority's assertion that in determining what is or what is not constitutionally protected activity,
Oh, he's going to agree with the dissenting loser.
Is directed at the individual seeking the injunction, or whether it merely pertains to the individual. It's a criticism of that finding or that portion of the finding, and then goes on to say, because it's based on the David decision at 189 Southern 3rd 871.
This guy is a dumbass.
Right.
Okay, I read that part of Budlove, and the decision that stands is the one he read before that, not the dissenting opinion, but he's going to take the side of the dissenting opinion. He's unbelievable. He's taking the side of the judges that lost in that case.
That's not how you're supposed to do the judge thing, y'all.
No, when the decision comes down and you lost, you don't go then as a judge and be like, but the dissenting opinion was this. It agreed with me. Well, too bad. They lost. My
The prevailing decision is what is at that point factual, and there is no other choice until a higher court appeals it.
Yeah, he can't even. He can't.
Interpreted the old statute and then concludes with, in effect.
Well put, MG. It is binding precedent. He doesn't get to side with
I would
the
certify conflict with the 4th DCA's David line of cases that suggests the bright line rule on a prohibition of prior restraint.
Well, that's the great thing, yeah.
But nonetheless, the concurrence concludes, and I quote, I conclude the trial court could enjoin Budlove from making future statements about the petitioners that incite others to violence against the petitioners, regardless of whether those are directed at the petitioners, without also violating First Amendment rights.
What? Wait.
However,
even if they're
the
not
right
directed
now can be
at
construed
them?
as preventing Budlove's posting anything at all. There's two ways to go about it then. One would be to cite to the language previously mentioned, which is in the opinion of Budlove, or the other is to simply say what it currently reads and then just add limited to future statements about petitioners that do or may incite others to violence against the petitioners, regardless of whether they're directed at the petitioner.
So he's going to add language from the dissent? He's going to add language from the dissenting opinion is what I'm understanding here. Is that what I heard? MG, are you still listening? Is he saying he's going to insert language from the loser side? Because I think that's what I just heard, and I'm shocked by that.
Potentially more problems, but I think I'm inclined to go with the more specific and just take the language right out of it.
Okay, MG Law says you don't have to directly communicate under Florida law, you just have to cause it to be communicated. Well, that needs to be overturned immediately, because how do you prove that you caused it to be communicated? How is that proven? How is that I want to know. What if I'm doing a stream today, and I talked about a lot of things today about corruption and cover-ups and judges standing up for perverts. And I never once said that anybody should do anything other than contact the legislature if they want to, because that's a legitimate thing to do. I said don't contact anybody. But if someone listening to this stream goes and sends my stream to someone, contacts them, even though I said not to, did I cause them to communicate to them because I told them about the story?
Well, only if there's an accusation, I think, is what the deciding factor is. If you are accused of it, then yes, you're guilty. And you're going to decide, and you go to prison forever, Megan. That's what's going to happen now.
I mean, OMG. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to this. I can't even wrap my head around it because it's so damn stupid.
Well, especially since Jeremy, literally every time she's mentioned, says, "Do not contact her. Don't just avoid these people." Yeah. Every time.
I think I found turtles.
I was going to say, I thought they had turtles. You could make a turtle out of that.
I put a shell on top of it, does a shell fit on it? Look at this. Let's see. No, this is not the wrong kind of lid. All right, I'll find the right kind of lid. I have the right kind of lid, I think, but I think I found something I could make a turtle out of. Yeah,
Jeremy, to be clear, from the very beginning, I've said no one contact her. She even wrote in the petition that I stated no one contact her.
Well, so then how can you be accused of causing someone to contact her when it's so nebulous? When she's claiming to the judge that all of these people are 100 people. We just drove down the streets of Otter Creek, and there was in the middle of the day on Google, there was nobody there. When the Google car went down, there wasn't a soul in sight. I think we saw 3 people that day. She says there are hundreds of cars going by her house every day videotaping. Does she have evidence of that? I mean, he's just taking her word for it that this stuff is happening to her because of you, and he's taking her word for it. I think that causing to be communicated thing is a real problem because I think it's too vague. I want to know what the definition of causing to be communicated is.
He's not expanding on that by any means. He's not going into what causation actually looks like, and I think that's probably intentional. I think that's so he can use it later to smack Jeremy.
All right, we got to get going. I think my kids are home.
I'm not, Ms. Preston, I'm not denying you opportunity to be heard. I want to hear from you before I want to get through their version since it's their motion. So, to the extent that you could follow, on December 29, the second DCA ruled on a case which
I understood everything you said.
affects potentially the language that this court added to the Supreme Court approved language that was already in effect. My intent was to not infringe on his constitutional rights. The argument is being made to the extent that I intended so. It may not have come to pass that way because this decision now says with similar language in that case that it was too broad and it remanded it back, saying to the trial court, come up with different language that's more narrowly tailored and not infringe on such rights. And
didn't he already say this? We already read the narrow language.
Adding language that would now limit. So it says, right now it reads, you can't post anything about Ms. Preston or a kid. Very broad. And what they're asking is that it says...
Very broad.
Too broad.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that very broad judgment? Who wrote that very broad injunction? It's very broad, he says, like he had nothing to do with it. He's the one who wrote it. He's mansplaining. He cannot shut up. He has said the same thing over and over again. He just can't admit I was wrong.
Bully me, belittle me, humiliate me.
Oh, shut up, Lynette.
And that's what he's doing. And in turn...
And he's letting her do this. He's belittling me. He's making money on me. Lynette, you could be making money too. I suggest you go get t-shirts that say Shit Shack on them. with a broken down picture of your Shit Shack and sell them online. You will make a fortune. You just don't know how to monetize this. But you could make money on it too.
His fans on their groups, which I do not have, but they do, says, let's kidnap her child, let's Baker Act them, so that then we should be able to get their child taken away.
Who said that? And you know what? Listen, if some kidnap, I doubt anybody said that.
I doubt that.
I'm sure a lot of people were like, why hasn't social services done something here? That a lot of people probably have that opinion. But why is he letting her just ramble on in the middle of his discussion with the other lawyer about the tailoring of the language? What does she have to say about this? Shut up, Lynette. You're not a lawyer. You have no idea what the law is, and you need to be quiet in court. And why is he allowing this to happen? And yes, his counsel should have objected. He should be jumping in there and saying, I object to her butting in to this conversation she is not involved in.
All of this is everything he says.
So if he did that, and I'm not ruling on it because it's not an issue before the court, but it's more likely than not that if the posts were in the future about inciting others to commit acts of violence against you or your child, which kidnapping would be considered
kidnapping. It's not.
Very likely that would not be constitutionally protected. That would be constitutionally unprotected as being construed as fighting words.
But you have no evidence that that's what was said. Just her word.
Use of epithets which, when considered or addressed by the ordinary citizen, are, as a matter of common knowledge, inherently likely to provoke violent reaction. So Mr. Hales would still be precluded and admonished and proscribed and enjoined.
Oh, he loves these words.
Then let me ask the courts, what are you then going to give him permission to post on his YouTube about me?
I'm not giving him permission to do anything. I'm denying him permission to do certain things within the parameters of what the Constitution allows.
And what does...
So let me.
Mind you, 10 minutes ago, she just said she understood everything the judge said.
I can list for you,
right,
in the next 2 minutes, probably 15 cases. You guys are neighbors to a great extent. I know we got an Ohio connection, whatever, but what came out in evidence is he's a neighbor of yours by virtue of his property, because I had to address, but while you got to drive around the other way, even though your properties are closer.
And they don't.
So you're neighbors. There are a dozen or more cases that say, for whatever reason, the injunctive process is not designed to keep people from being uncivil.
Right.
And to prevent people.
That's for a defamation case in civil court.
People from being.
So why are you doing this?
Unnecessarily and unwanted. Boorish behavior towards another citizen who happens to be their neighbor. There's not a good solution for that. Not in injunctive court. There may be in another civil proceeding.
This does not really look like a turtle.
It's all about
I know. It looks like an air filter.
Would provoke violence when addressed by the ordinary citizen as a matter of common knowledge, inherently likely to provoke violent reaction.
Looks like a turtle that spent too much time in that green water.
So would be to prescribe and prevent and to enjoin him from certain things. But I'm not going to tell him. His lawyer might give him advice. I don't give advice of what people can do.
Every time they film us, every single time they come up to us.
You are not testifying, and he's letting her. Jeremy hasn't been able to say one damn word in his own defense, not one, and she can continue to just tell lies. These are lies. She has no evidence of any of this, none. We can show proof that the things that she is saying, Jeremy has said the opposite. We can show that. So if she could show the judge that these things happened, then she would. But she isn't. It's just all words.
Coming to us, filming us.
Where's your video of that?
Walking on a walker.
Right.
Down the road. No one's around. We got a neighbor.
Why isn't Randy objecting?
We're talking to. I'm on the phone with an advocate. He drives up.
He might just be wanting her to display her
violating
insanity.
The 10 feet. See people. He's violating it.
The more
He's turned it into Ohio.
She gets.
Oh, God.
And now we are facing charges of contempt of court for things we are not doing.
Give me 1 minute.
Giving him the ability to do that.
I cannot believe he's allowing her to keep doing this.
So here, hold that thought. I'm going to just take a brief recess. If you guys need a comfort break, we're at 10:49. We've been going since 9.
I need to change the diaper.
Oh, bingo! Change a diaper.
Isn't this kid like 4?
Her kid, yeah, she's 4, and she's been sitting in the car all of this time. So that's the end of part 1, which we are obviously not going to get to today. No, we will not get to that today. God. This is unbelievable. All right, we're going to get to the super chats, and then I got to go make Hangry a snack because he's hangry. And he's home, and he wants his egg sandwich. Callie Sandy RN, thanks for the super chat, says, Megan, can't find Valhalla's channel. Could you pass this to Valhalla for a Legos bin? Yours is coming next. So I owe you $10.
Put it on my tab.
I will, I dropped his link in the chat. But Valhalla, you're a mod.
I'm doing it right now.
You can do that. Yeah, go drop your links. Drop your links, please.
I'm going to put them in the chat, yo.
And let's see. Callie Sandy RN says, love you, Megan. Thank you so much, Callie Sandy. Appreciate you. Connie B, thanks to his super chat, says the judge is spending Jeremy's money. The district is not happy about the state's investigation into the former mayor at Jeremy's behest. Can of worms. Yeah. Did everybody in here like the stream, by the way? Like the stream. If you haven't liked it already, do it now. Kelly Breidenbaugh, thanks for the super chat, says, oh, just wait. Her lawyer's paralegal sat right behind Jeremy's table in the last court hearing. The paralegal was also at Feather's hearing, too. Who's paralegal? Oh, Lynette's?
The new lawyer.
Sat behind Jeremy's table?
Yeah.
I wonder if she was listening in.
Of course she was. She was trying to.
Patriot for Life, Meemaw, thanks for the super chat, says attorney is setting precedents for future cases in which he's going to let this judge walk all over himself and Jeremy. Well, I will say that in hearing number 5, Randy stands up for himself. Randy gives it back to the judge and tells him, I want to be heard without being interrupted. And that puts the judge back on his heels. And everybody's going to stand up and cheer when I play that. So we're still on hearing number 3, though, tomorrow. Before we get to 5, we're still on 3, and then we got to do 4, and then we'll get to 5.
I'm going to put MG's link in the chat right now as well, y'all. Go give him a sub.
Yeah, make sure you watch him tonight. He's going to read that new lawsuit. I can't wait to hear that. Mimi Two Boys, thanks for the super chat, says Larry needs to walk into that courtroom with a big buckle and a feather in his suit coat pocket. That would be hilarious. Kathy McClure, thanks for the super chat, says LOL. When we burn the trash, we can cook over it. Oh my God, you guys are too funny. I really think that the shit shack is coming along nicely. Robert Henderson, thanks to the super chat, says you need to spray it with that fart spray. Helen Gall, thanks to the super chat, says I fear for J&G's life after the email was given to him from the Levy County's deputies gave him. He wonders how they knew where he was. Well, isn't he always at the meetings, though? That's a pretty good guess that he'll be at that monthly meeting. Legally Live, thanks to the super chat, says Preach Girl, so here for this. Marcus King, thanks to the super chat, says tell us how you really feel about it. Well, I feel like he's a hack. That's what I think. And this is still America, Judge, and I can call you a hack. I can call you a fake judge. I can call you presiding over a kangaroo court and family court. You know why? Because you don't get to tell me what to say. The Constitution of the United States protects my right to tell you, a government agent, what I think about you. I think you're shit. I think thank you. The Pocket Constitution guarantees that a judiciary is not above the people of the United States. The people of the United States are your boss. We are your supervisor. We are here to supervise you. And if we think that you're acting out of line, we're going to tell you about it. And I'm allowed to tell you about it. Come and stop me, Judge. Come and stop me. Stop me from talking about you. I would love to see you try. I would love to see you try. You're not going to do it. You can't. You're enjoined. You are, not me. You are. You're not allowed to restrain. You're not allowed to restrain my speech.
We have the armor of the U.S. Constitution, Your Honor.
It's absurd. Well, at least right now, maybe in another couple of years, the Supreme Court will agree with nutbags like this guy and be like, yeah, you know what? It's a good idea. We should definitely not allow anyone to criticize us. That's a great idea. Off to the gulag with you. But currently, we're still not under that regime. I don't know what to tell you, but you're doing it wrong.
We may not be far away from political dissidents being, summarily executed with rocket-propelled grenades or whatever the hell Kim Jong-un's doing over there. But we're not there yet. We're not
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And thank God for it. Juliet Morgan, thanks for the super chat, says, I don't know how the real mother is feeling about this. Well, I do. I know how the biological family is feeling about this, and it's not good. It's not good. And so everybody please say a prayer for them and pray for guidance on this situation, and send your positive thoughts and energy towards them, because they're going through a lot right now. It's really hard for them to watch this. And I've been made aware that they are watching it, and this is not something that they ever wanted for this child. So, please act with grace and wisdom. Don't do anything rash. Don't call anybody. Don't do anything. Let law enforcement take care of it if they will. And there's plenty of things going on behind the scenes that I promise you, there will be something. There will be more public attention through legal channels only. And we don't want to make anything worse for Jeremy. Nobody wants to make anything worse by, doing anything that this judge can construe as harassment of Lynette. Lynette is not being harassed, though. I need to remind everyone out there, and this judge included, that it is not harassment to speak publicly about someone's behavior in public. Bunny Mom, thanks for the super chat, says, but they can say Jeremy is a child rapist. Yeah, well, we don't know. He says that he has a handwriting expert. I think that it's in dispute whether or not she wrote those, but he says he can prove it. So, but he hasn't been allowed to in court. Stingy, thanks to the super chat, says, keep her name out your chat's mouth. Will Smith, that's funny. Beth Vals, thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Apocrypha Darkbane, thanks for the super chat. All these months later, he has not gotten a chance to say his piece. That's right. No evidence presented on his side. Thanks for the super sticker, Carla. Appreciate that. Reform Congress, thanks for the super chat. My donation towards the Shit Shack. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Of course, the Shit Shack is just really made out of garbage, so it doesn't really cost anything. K-Matt Red Queen, thanks for the super chat, says, see Jeremy's message about the meeting. Did he post another one on his channel? Kyle Alex gifted 5 Fox memberships. Thank you so much for your generosity. And to the 5 of you, welcome to the Fox Den. So happy to have you here. All right. If you are not following me at meganfox.locals.com, you need to be doing that, because that is when there is, you're going to find notifications to everything. When I'm going live, breaking news, that's where it will be. You'll get all the notifications. You don't have to pay anything. It's free to follow me. Just download the app on your phone. It's the Locals app. And then find me there, meganfox.locals.com. And then you'll get all the notifications. The only thing you can't do if you're not a paying member, which is only $5 a month, the only thing you won't be able to do is access exclusive content and participate in the live chat. And the live chat is so much fun, and that's where all the memes are. Speaking of the memes, that's what we do at the end of the show. We're going to go through the memes that Locals has been working really hard on, because you deserve it. You deserve to see these. Now, see that I can't show that. Dang it. That one I can't show. Okay. But Locals came up with a t-shirt idea for Lynette. There's just a lot of them. Remember the scummy C word? She said they called her a scummy C word. If she put that on a shirt, she could sell a ton. I'm telling you. I don't know why she doesn't. She should put it on a t-shirt, put up a website, and sell t-shirts, and people would buy them. All right. Here is Totera 4. What's Totera 4? What is this? Looks like some good inspiration for me to try and make something with it, like a turtle with something growing on top of it. I think that's like pretty perfect. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We have wait, I have to read this first. No, I can't post that either. Dang
Locals,
it,
clean it up a little bit. We need YouTube-friendly memes.
Locals, I cannot post potentially defamatory statements. Please, just keep it simple. Okay, apparently we are not going to end with Locals memes, because today Locals is feeling particularly spicy. So if you want to be a part of the meme farmers over there, you gotta sign up. It's $5 a month. It's fun. And now is
You know, that's pretty good. You know, that judge got to be a a-hole. Make sure you follow Megan Fox. What the hell, especially tonight. Jeremy gonna talk about a contract killer going after him. Well, I'm just taking that's what happened by the sheriff's department. If you look at yesterday's videos that What the Hell's put out, where that paperwork was sealed up by the judge a-hole. And he got it unsealed. And liar Preston said she wasn't afraid of him like she did in those court hearings. So that's more lies she's telling. I would love to see Larry Foreman, the DUI, go down there. That judge would probably put him in jail. You know, watch the DUI guy. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky, which is about 19 miles south of me until you get to the Kentucky border. So, you all have a good day. Hit the subscribe bell. When you hit that subscribe bell, people, hit it again. That way you get all the comments. Hit the thumbs up. As I've told you, I need 1,000 subscribers. I don't make no money off of YouTube. And what I would do, you know, I gave you my post office box. I gave you the Cash App thing to donate through. Because I do need another computer, people, but I make between $800 to $900 a month. I'm 70 plus years old. I'm being honest. You know, there's things I can't do. I had 4 heart attacks. I got high blood pressure. I got diabetes. You know, that's how come I got a Troy-built rider that was donated to me by one of the neighbors. And there's, you know, I need a new drive belt to it. Maybe a carburetor, because I got to shut the gas off. It got a line going from the gas tank to the carburetor with the shut-off valve. If I don't shut it off, the gasoline will run into the oil. And it looks like, down there where the float is, it looked like it got wires going to it. So,
I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. Oh, and my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna say goodbye. pretend. I almost felt my head is full of a million choices. I am alive, I'm not here to pretend. I love my friends, my heart is filled with a million voices. Oh, this road has many choices. And my heart, million voices. Come next to me, my friend, embrace the sky. I'm not afraid to fly. It's not the time to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. No, I don't wanna stay. No, I don't wanna say goodbye.
That's
To
Megan.
redress our government. Damn straight.
So, people, that was Megan Fox. Subscribe to her channel. You'll love that young lady. She's a reporter. She went to college to be a reporter. You know, so go watch her channels. And make sure you subscribe to her channel. And also go to Watch the House. He's going to be on there every video, I think about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is an hour away. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I would do that if I was you. Subscribe to those channels. You can keep up with anything. Also, I want to say, ladies, you're not at fault that you're getting abused by your mate. You know, report it. I know you've all been threatened if you report it to the police. You can tell somebody, and maybe they can have the police come to your house when your mate ain't there. It's not your fault, ladies. They're not a man if they abusing you. There's a special lady that lives in Scott County, Indiana. People, check with your sisters or your cousins, you know, see if the attitude has changed, you know. You might hit the right sister and find out what it is, and you can help her. She wants to leave, but her mate threatened to kill her and the kids. I heard her tell it. I know it's hearsay, but I was there when she said it to a couple of people. So, as they always says, you see it, you hear it, report it. Keep an eye on your neighbors. If you got senior citizens, keep an eye on them. Ask them how they're doing. Do they need any help? 2 neighbors up from me, he's a senior citizen. His son that lives next door to me, I think maybe 40s or 50s, somewhere in there. Might be 60, I don't know. But keep an eye on your neighbors. People that lives in Scott County, Indiana, keep an eye on your neighbors. And you know if police comes down there to maybe a domestic battery, you can call the police and do that anonymously. If you see it, you hear it, report it. I want to make it a point, ladies. It's not your fault, no matter how your mate's making you feel. It's not your fault. Maybe you can go to church if your mate don't follow you to church. Your children can report it to school officials, which I believe is confidential. When they report it to the school teacher or something like that, and then they can call the police. And they can get maybe some kind of order to get you and your kids out of the house into a safe place. And also, ladies, pray to God. God will help you out. But it's not worth staying in an abuse situation like what your lady's going through. You know, I've seen it in my, like I say, I'm 70 plus years old. I make between $800 to $900 a month. I live on a budget. Everybody should have a budget. I want you bring in income a month. I know some of you like to have some things. If it's not in your budget, you can't get it. Don't go in debt, because that means another payment in a month. You know, I got a house payment. I got a cell phone bill. I got another cell phone bill to pay on this iPhone SE Series 3. I got my automobile insurance, this and that. I got one with leaf filter. People, do your research. Do not buy anything from leaf filter. They make another filter with tiny holes in it. It's made out of metal. You know, they put it onto your gutters. That's probably cheaper than the leaf filter. Because them leaf filters take advantage of senior citizens like it did me. That's leaf filter of Louisville, Kentucky. So I want to thank you all. I want to give you all a big clap out there who has subscribed. Will I be on here tonight? Probably not, since I've done a live stream today, this afternoon. I'll probably take it easy, done a few things today, which I am regretting it. I probably cooked the meatloaf that I got from a JC store yesterday, because Walmart didn't have the meatloaf. I forget who makes it. I think it's in aisle 31 or something, but they didn't have it. So, and also for Pepsi Zero people, if you got diabetes, there's other brands out there if you don't like a Pepsi product. Pepsi also sells mug MUG root beer. It's MUG root beer. I had a big shot from Pepsi tell me last week they come out with sugar-free root beer, mug root beer. But right now there's none in any store. There's none at Walmart. There's none at the dollar store. There's none at the JC store. There's none at the Family Dollar store. Nobody has it right now. But I did make a complaint with that Pepsi VIP person. Told him about my YouTube channel, Tom Cartwright 4375. I said, I advertise on my YouTube channel that Pepsi Zero because I'm a diabetic. I'm trying to teach you all people there's other drinks out there you can get. So, and I told him, I said, I used to drink regular Pepsi, 150 to 175 a month. But since you came out with Pepsi Zero, I've cut it down to maybe 75 a month. But you people got diabetes, take care of yourself. You know what you can do and what you can't do. People who have heart attacks / strokes, you know what you can do and what you can't do. If you're a first-time YouTuber and you got a family or maybe got children, you and your mate each need to do a video of your medical history. And the daddy and mommy of the kids need to do a thing on family history. You know, do you have high blood pressure, this or that, you know. That way when they get older, they can go back and look at it because something might happen to both of you. That's why you can keep up, you know, they can keep up with their family history because they're going to inherit something from you and your mate. So that's only my opinion. And if you're out on the road in your vehicle, car, truck, SUV, whatever you're driving, you come up on a wreck, you can live stream it or record it and put it up on your YouTube channel. You know, I'm just a city boy, learned to be a country boy. I know I'm an old man, but you know what I mean. You know, people, you move out in the country, you don't have sewers, you got septic tanks. And you don't put TP in your toilet and flush it. That means your septic tank will fill up more. Also, make sure you use Rid-X or something like it. You know, Dollar Store, Family Dollar Store got their own brand of Rid-X. You dump it in once a month, you know, it breaks everything down. And also, you do not put your monthly things in the toilet and flush it down. You put it in the garbage can. Men, you do not flush your raincoats down the toilet because it won't dissolve. It'll clog your septic tank up. You don't put your baby wipes down the toilet in the country. If you live in the country, you can get you some cats. You're going to have mice and moles in your yard. You know, you need some outside cats. The cats I got outside, I got about 20 outside cats and about 10 inside cats. I got, 5 tomcats and 5 female cats. I got 1 tomcat in here. You've seen him, that sucks. He's a half of a tomcat, if you know what I mean. And you can send gift cards to Post Office, Tom Cartwright, 4375, at Post Office Box 1, Charlestown, Indiana, 47111. And if you do the Cash App, you know how to do that. But it's the $, Tom Cartwright, 4375. You know what the HTTPS 2// well, you all know what you're supposed to do if you do that. I know you all love to donate to YouTube, but I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm considered as a part-time YouTuber. Until I get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I don't get nothing from YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to Megan Fox, the DUI guy, RD on the Scene, which is Bakersfield, California, and Kern County Crime Watchers, which is Tuesdays and Fridays. And there's a bunch of others. I showed you this truck driver video. I think I uploaded either yesterday or this morning, I don't know. I watched him, but I done a short video on him. See if you like it. And another truck driving channel I watch is JBG Traveler, Johnny B. Good. You know, that's how I can remember Johnny B. Good. JBG. He's a truck driver. Been driving trucks for years. You know, you'll like him. He even got a name for his big truck. If you like truck driver videos, you got police chases, and I like the one from Arizona. And I guarantee you, them troopers in Arizona, I wouldn't want to mess with them people. I know I've told you. When they turn the red and blue lights on you, please pull over. But some of you wants to run. That means more charges. No matter if you got a warrant or you stole the car, anything like that, please pull over. But I know you all going to run from them anyway. But that's more charges. If you have a wreck and hurt somebody, you're going to be in big trouble. And also, people, God wants me to tell you on these 3 charities are for. St. Jude's, the Shriners, Habitat Humanity, and Wounded Warriors. Let's help our veterans out. You know, our government should take care of our veterans, but they don't. You see how much the government cares about we, the people? They sending money to Ukraine and weapons and ammunition. To me, that's a traitor of the United States. That's only my opinion. If Trump was president, we wouldn't send all them billions of dollars to there. So that's one thing I like. You know, when he was president, we didn't have all these little wars. Every time a Democrat's in there, we got some kind of war going on in the world somewhere. So, and I want to thank all of you. It's in the background. I can't do it without you. Anybody who leaves comments and subscribe to my channel, when I see it in my email, I click on YouTube channel. And I subscribe to your all's YouTube channel. So I want to thank you all. I can't do it without you and God's help. So, peace. Aloha, people. I'll get my camera right. Aloha. And I know I'm going to screw this up. L-O-V-E-U. I'm kind of rusty. One of my wives was a deaf mute. We had 4 kids. Number 1 and number 3 is dead. That leaves me with 2 and number 4. left. So I love you all. God bless you. Share it. Watch my other videos. If you're a first-time home buyer or thinking of come, I got videos on that. What I went through over 5 years ago. I told you about home inspection and tell you where to go, which is Mike Holmes on YouTube. He's an inspector. You know, some states you have to be licensed by the state, but Indiana, you can go to school and be an inspector for a city or county. Kentucky, you have to build homes. You have to build, be a plumber. You got to do plumbing work and so on and all that. So God bless you. I love you all. God loves you. If you don't believe in God, it's okay. Whatever place you're in. So, I love you. Behave. Women, as I say, it's not your fault. So don't blame you. People, if you see it, you hear it, report it. Let's help these ladies out there, people who's getting abused, no matter what state you're in. We got one in Scott County, Indiana, which is about 6 miles up the road. She's getting abused. She has been threatened by her spouse, threatened to kill her and the kids. I'm hoping somebody with Scott County Sheriff or Scottsburg Police Department or Austin PD will look into their records. There's bound to be a police report on it somewhere in Scott County. I know what she look like, but I ain't going to describe her. I fear for her life. This lady needs help. So, thank you all for watching. Hit the subscribe bell and hit it again where you get all notifications. Hit the thumbs up. Share it with your friends. I need 1,000 subscribers. Watch the DUI guy. Larry's a great guy. You know, he's going over what the hell. So, subscribe to Watch the Hells, and you see what he's going through, and you see something special that he got from the sheriff's department. I think that was yesterday. So thank you all for watching. Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon.